Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your body, your health, fitness and mindset from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be. And today I want to talk to you all about progress. Because what is progress? Well, I believe that progress is success in life. You know what it feels like when you're in the zone, when you're getting things done. That's progress. That's when things feel good. You know, we continue to grow. We continue to build a business. We continue to build relationships. We feel like we're progressing. What I've experienced from my observations in corporate life is that there comes a point where the money just doesn't matter anymore. And this is true in business too, but I see it stand out more and more in a corporate world. People are generally doing jobs that they don't really love. They don't thrive them. So what happens is they get to a position where they just move up and they move up and they move up a little bit further and a little bit further. But if you get to that point and you've had enough of that job, and somebody says, all right, I will double your pay. I'll give you an extra 100,000 or whatever. At some point, as attractive as that sounds, at some point the money is not going to matter. Why? Because you don't feel like you're growing. You don't feel like you're progressing in that role. We want to always be growing professionally. There's just this innate quality within us, this desire to want to get better all the time, to get more skills, to become a better version of ourselves. It's just that some of us aren't necessarily, looking at that through a magnifying glass. We just don't know why we get bored. But when you pull it apart and you stop and you say, actually, the reason that I am where I am right now is because I'm not progressing anymore. I'm just not growing. Now, can you not apply this to every area of your life? Let's look at relationships. Look at your intimate relationship. If you get to that point where you find that you don't want to be with this person anymore, why is that normally happening? And I'm sure you're just firing back at me right now a whole range of different words and reasons as to what that is. But ultimately, if you strip away the emotion and everything, it's the fact that you're not progressing in the relationship. Perhaps you don't have mutual goals that you're working towards. Perhaps you feel like you just have separate lives and you're not progressing in the connectivity of your relationship. You're not progressing in terms of building something with your children, building that love, that relationship, that connectivity through your children, and you find that you're just not progressing. And then what happens? Most people just go their separate ways. When it comes to your career, if you get to that point where you find that you're just not progressing anymore, what we often do is just jump from one role into another corporation doing maybe the same or a slightly different role. What does that do? Often that's distracting you from everything that you left behind in the previous role, only to reveal in maybe weeks, months, years ahead that, oh crap, I'm back in the same place that I was before. But at least 4 years have passed by and I'm no longer, I'm no longer back there, but I'm actually still really in the same place. I found myself doing this for many years in corporate life. I moved from one role to the next. And when I started my studies as a chartered accountant, I had this vision for myself that I left a country town in Victoria called Bendigo. And I decided that I would leave there, I would come to Melbourne, I would get, say, 10 years experience or so, and then I would return back to Bendigo because I didn't like Melbourne, was my thought at the time, and I would go back and do business in Bendigo somewhere. Not running my own business, but just going to work back in Bendigo using the skills that I've got. So that's what I did. That's what I thought I would do. But as I was going through my studies and everything, I realized that actually I don't want to stay in this industry, but I also didn't want to return to Bendigo because I moved to the other side of Melbourne, and it's nice and quiet, but close enough to Melbourne for the kids and all that kind of stuff, for their career prospects and whatever it is that they want to do. But I found it was probably every 3 to 4.5 years, I found myself getting bored. Now, why was that? Well, I found I got to a point where I wasn't progressing. I went from internal audit out into, I became chartered accountant. That was my first goal, and then to go out into industry somewhere and hopefully find a job that was going to thrive me. But the problem was I never found that. I got bored after about 4 years, and I thought, man, I'm just not growing. Yeah, I need something else. So I moved to the next role, and then to the next one, and the next one. Now, all of that time, I was moving up the corporate ladder and got to the point where really the only step that I wanted to make from there were like sideways moves. And there's only so many sideways moves you can make in an organisation before you have to either step up higher or step out of the organisation and go and do something differently. And I realised that, no matter how many times I step sideways, all I'm doing is distracting myself for a period of years, and I'm not truly being the best version of myself. So I said, that's when it was time to make the career change. And through that whole journey for me, I came to identify what it is that I do right now. And that is really exciting. But it wasn't always front of mind. It was a journey for me. But the bottom line was I had this thing burning inside me that says, you've got to keep growing. You've got to keep progressing. And that's what I did. And even now, I'm in business. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I feel like I've been doing it full time for 12 years, and I still feel like I'm just at the beginning. Still feel like I've just started because it's so exciting. And I look forward to every day thinking, what can I learn today? What can I pick up from here today to make today better than yesterday? What can I bring more to a coaching client? What more can I bring to one of the sessions that I run, a group session? What is going on out in the real world that I can apply that to my own life? How can I become more successful? How do I apply the principles of success more today than I did yesterday? And so when it comes to your health and your fitness, it's the same deal with progress. We need to be making progress, don't we? If we just stay the same, some people are happy to stay the same, but I think if you dig really deep within yourself, you'll find that, well, actually, no, you want to change. You want to get better. You want to feel better. Now, every day, I'm still looking to make improvements. I just finished recording my Rob Evans 365 podcast, and I was talking briefly about this there. I look at every day and think, how can I make it better? And in terms of the way that I'm consuming water, my sleep, etc., etc. And the last few nights, I haven't slept very well for a variety of reasons. I'm having this battle with my pillow at the moment. I think I'm drinking too much water too late at night, so my bladder's too full. So every day, even though I've been training for 33 years, every single day that you get up, there's something in that day that's not exactly the same as yesterday. Like it could be the climate. It could be, maybe it was windy the night before, which kept you up. Maybe your sleep got disrupted for whatever reason and you didn't get as much sleep. Maybe the last few nights have not been as good sleep, so that's having a flow-on effect into your day. Maybe you're having a battle like me with your pillow and it's not quite right and it's really troubling you and it's upsetting your sleep, and then that flows on through to the day. It can flow on through to how much you drink, it can flow on through to what you eat, etc., etc. So I'm looking through yesterday to say, what can I do different? And I'm making a couple of modifications because I was also a bit bloated yesterday. I think, I ate as normal yesterday, but I had these beef balls, homemade ones, for lunch with my salad. And there was maybe something in that. Maybe this particular batch had too much of a particular herb or something that just made me feel a little bit more gassy and bloated. So I went to bed last night feeling really, not completely awesome as I normally would. And so I'm always looking to progress, make that improvement on yesterday, because each day you get up provides a different set of opportunities for you. When it comes to my training, what am I looking to do every single workout? I'm looking to, right now in my program, lift heavier on every single exercise I do, every single time I step into the gym. And I track it. And if I don't progress, I need to examine why is that. So if I look at my specific workout this week, I've got one more workout to go. At the date of recording this, it's Friday, so I do 3 workouts a week. I do a pressing type workout, I do a pulling type workout, which was yesterday. My next workout is in a couple of days' time, which is legs. And now with my biggest sticking point right now is my arms. Okay, biceps. A bicep curl, everyone knows what a bicep curl is, I think. So I look at that and I say, gee, I'm at the peak of where I can get to with lifting that weight at the moment. It's 33.5 kilos doing bicep curls. And I can't do, with my current program, any less than 9 repetitions. If I can do between 9 to 12. If I do less than 9, it means that the weight is too heavy. Now, last week I did 1 set of 9, and then on the second set, well, it was actually my third set, I could only manage 8. I dropped off the kilo and did 2 more reps. So this week, I did my first set and I did 10. And I'm like, man, they were so damn heavy. My arms are on 5s. It's the last exercise I do in that particular workout. So with my last set, I thought, okay, I can't go up because I'm not going to be able to do 9 reps. So I thought I'll stick to the same weight, but I'm going to do 1 more rep no matter what. So I'm going to get the 9 out rather than 8 that I did last week. And that's what I did. So each week I give the feedback to my coach as to what's the heaviest weight that I lifted on each exercise so he can see. So I'm going to add a note this week to say I was able to do 2 sets and I went to the full 9, but I'm not progressing on that. And what's his suggestion for that? Because my food and everything's good, but I'm right at the top end of that and they're not growing. And this is a body part that I want to get bigger for this year. So that's a sticking point. So I analyze that and say, okay, what could I do better? One way I could lift more there is to shift the order of where I do it. If I did that exercise first, then I would do better there, but then maybe some of my other exercises would suffer. So anyway, you've got the idea of what I'm talking about. That is how I look to progress in my training at the moment. So again, my goal for my own health and fitness this year is to look better than last year, put on 4 to 6 kilos of muscle this year, and aim to put on about 4 kilos in the first 24 weeks of my schedule. I'm working 12-week training blocks. So I'm in week 3 at the moment, almost at the end of week 3. And one thing I'm not doing at the moment, I'm not taking the photos because my body fat percentage is a little bit higher and it's just not what I'm working towards right now. I'm working towards building more muscle right now. I'm not stripping down the fat. I will become a little bit leaner over time as I build the muscle, but my main focus right now in this first 4 weeks is to get stronger. And so that means lifting heavier weights. So I've got I've got 4 more workouts left of this 4-week training block, and then I move to the next one. But you can see how I'm working with my coach to create progress for the rest of the year. Each week I'm progressing. Now, where most people step into a gym, they don't track what they do, they don't know exactly what they're going to do, they're not really working towards anything, they're just attending, okay? Walking out sweaty perhaps, maybe they're lifting some heavy weights and doing some things and getting that pump through the muscle and everything, but they go back the next session and they do the same thing. Or Maybe they do it a little bit differently. Maybe they do something completely different and it's weeks before they get back to that again. They don't really have any measures in place to determine whether they're progressing, and they're guided by just how they feel. Now, some days you could feel great, other days you could feel like crap, and that's how you're going to guide your success. Now, I did this myself for many years, just thinking, well, that was a really good workout. I got a good pump. I feel good. My mental health feels good. I know I'm working hard. But the reality is you're not really progressing. And it's when we are progressing and we consistently progress, that's when we know that we are starting to be successful in life, being really fulfilled. Now, the trick is to not just do that for once a year or a couple of times a year. The key is to condition yourself so that you can do it all the time. And it doesn't mean that you're going to have 365 successful days. I mean, I certainly don't. But if you can string a series of successful things together day after day after day, that's how you condition yourself to be progressive, and how you condition yourself to success, and how you condition yourself to be a high achiever, so that you know every day I'm just doing that little bit more, or I'm doing these sequence of things by practicing over and over to get better and better and better. It's such a simple concept, but progress, I think, is the key to success. If you are continually doing those things to help you progress and making sure that you measure your progress and not just base it on a feeling, then that's how you're truly going to be successful. Health and fitness wise, you've just got to tighten up your act, and you've got to put some specific things in place. Now, all of this progress in your health and fitness and other areas as well leads back to being really articulate in what you want, why you want to achieve that, and how committed you are to achieving it. Because once you nail those things, you'll find out the how. And when you keep testing and measuring what it is that you're doing, you'll find that that will make you successful. It's really powerful. Will you be good at it right away? No. But if you have a heightened level of awareness of how you're progressing through life across the different areas that are important to you, then you'll be successful. Think about saving money. How do you progress in becoming broke to wealthy? You save more than you spend. How do you do that? We'll start by saving at least 10% of everything that you earn and just put it away, and then invest. Build it up to a certain amount, whether it's $1,000 or $500, whatever it is, and invest it in a way that is going to build based on your risk profile. That it's going to keep building and building and building. The power of compounding interest, of dividends, of capital growth. That's the power. So, if you want to find out more about how you can progress your life, if you want to connect with me for a conversation about any of the Mental Toughness and Body shows that you've recently listened to, then go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for a free consultation with me right there. I would love to connect with you. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.